After long cold winters, it's really important that we wake our lawns up. Absolutely, they need a bit of a vuma so that they can decide it's time to wake up. And of course, everybody wants a beautiful green lawn. So how do we get that done? Let's show you the 2 or 3 easy steps that you can get it right. If you haven't fertilized your lawn at all this spring, then this is the first thing that you need to do. The product that you want to use is 232. It's a very general fertilizer. It's your base fertilizer that's used for planting, and it's used for literally getting the roots settled. So the 232 does not encourage green growth, and it does not encourage flowering. That's not what we want. We want good root growth to really get that right, because of course with good roots comes good foliage, and that's what we want. So the first application literally is 232, and that you would use at 40 to 60 grams per square meter. It's not a lot, and to get it right, we're going to show you the gadgets that you need to use in order to get it right. Now, what's really important, guys, is that many of us, when we fertilize, simply take a handful and start scattering it liberally across the lawn. And that's when you end up with those green stripes, you know, like that across the lawn. And that's when you haven't used a fertilizer distributor. You can invest in these things once, and if you look after it, it'll be with you for life. Once you've used your first application, which is the 232, 4 to 6 weeks later, once you've now encouraged root growth, which makes sense, you're then going to go with something that's going to encourage greening. All right, because now it's time for summer, guys. We want the green lawn. So that's when you're going to go with something called 713. 7, obviously the first number, produces nitrogen. Nitrogen is good growth. That's the leaves. So we go with the 713. Notice the 1, not as in the 3 from the first fertilizer, which is less about the roots. We've sorted that out now. We're moving on, and allows good movement of all the nutrients between the plant cell walls. So all in all, we've got the starter, and then we've got the give me green. All right? All right, guys, so these are the gadgets that you need in order to distribute your fertilizer evenly and properly. Because amazingly enough, one of these bags, a small bag, that's a 5 kg, should do 200 square meters of lawn. But interestingly enough, if you hand distribute it, you don't get that coverage. And that's why we over-fertilize. By using a fertilizer distributor, you get an even spread with the right application, and there is no chance of you over-fertilizing and wasting. So, the first little guy is this. Isn't it cute? You hear it, all right? What it is, it's basically for smaller gardens. And you can adjust your aperture, in other words, how much fertilizer needs to get distributed out of here. And you can just pop it in and literally spread it around your garden. Of course, remember, any chemical fertilizer that you are using does need to be well watered in after you have fertilized, or run around in the rain and do it then. This guy over here is just the big brother. All right, this is for larger gardens. So if we're talking 1,000 square meters and more, I would strongly suggest you will need one of these guys, and it works on the same principle. It has a control here for the aperture to allow for the amount of fertilizer that has been produced to cover a square meter. Nice and easy. Format. And of course, the last part of your exercise is to water well. Remember, a 10-minute watering is sufficient enough to allow your fertilizer to be able to get the nutrients to release and get into the soil. If the following day is a really hot day, I do suggest that you give it another watering in case there were any further nutrients sitting on the soil surface, which could lead to burning.